This is Hayward Oaks, and it's an area of forestry and woodland more or less halfway between Mansfield and Nottingham. I'm here today for the trees behind me because larch isn't a common tree in Nottinghamshire, and even if you can find them, the lower branches aren't always easily accessible. These are, and I'm hoping to find a Coleophora on here. It'll be only a young larva in a very small case, no larger or wider than a larch needle from last year. So hopefully we should be able to track one of these down. It's a quite magnificent tree, larch, very underrated. Of course, it's the only deciduous pine we have. But what I like about it is these beautiful flowers, absolutely gorgeous. And then eventually the tree produces the most delightful small cones. Has a lot going for it, does larch. I'm expecting the species to be present. I can't remember whether Dillis himself did find Coleophora laricella or laricella here a number of years ago. I suspect we did. One thing that was here, if I remember right, was larch ladybird, and the best way to find that was by beating this lower foliage. These larches are lovely, fabulously covered in lichens, but we've got one. There's one just here, tied up against a bud. It's no more than 4 mm in length, and it's tight, flat to this particular twig. In fact, there's another one here. So we've found them within a couple of minutes. Once the needles are out, they'll be even easier to find because the whiteness where the larva's fed on the contents of the needle will make them more obvious. The cases will obviously be larger than this, but crikey, they are thin. I'll get you in a bit closer and you can see this one. Now here's one of the cases I found, but there's actually two on this branch. The first one is just there, look, laid tight to the stem but attached to the base of that just opening bud. That's about 4 mm in length at most. Not particularly easy to see, that one. The other one is a bit more easy, and we're talking here where my finger's tapping, and this one's slightly larger. This is about 5 to 6 mm. There's quite a difference, as you can see, quite a difference in the two cases. And this one here is again attached for the winter at the base of the bud onto the stem, but this one's lying alongside the just opening bud. So on this particular branch you've got two larval cases. These are the overwintering cases. A new case is formed in the spring, and that's quite different. I'll put a photo in. It's much more sort of inflated than these. These are made, I believe, just out of a single larch needle. So that's two cases then of Coleophora laricella. Now I have found another one which is slightly larger but far more obvious. And here's the other one. It's the tiny thin object. It's about 7 mm long, this one, that's standing more or less 90 degrees from the stem on which it's attached. When they're like this, they're far more obvious. And in a few more weeks, when the larch needles are starting to open a little bit more, these will be attached to them, and then they'll be an altogether easier find. So with little effort, got 3 cases of Coleophora laricella. Now it's not a common moth, my usual saying regarding any micro moth pretty much in Nottinghamshire, and it's certainly under recorded. What I need to do now is go and find some larch on a pit top and have a look to see whether it has colonised some of the pit tops, but that will probably be for another video. So that's another larval case of Coleophora laricella. Found 3 cases of between about 4 and 7 mm in length. Looks like a couple of these larches have lost the tops over the years, but nice that the sun's come out finally, although it is quite a cool and rather blustery day at times today. So that's Coleophora laricella, probably on a larch near you. The larva can cause quite considerable defoliation of larches, can be quite a pest in some commercial forestry areas. No chance of that here. Commercial forestry's got many more diseases to worry about than this little tiny micro moth.